today. To the members on the Committee on Health, my name is Shashank Ravi, and I'm a medical professional and citizen in the city of Madison. I'm testifying in front of your committee in support of enacting stricter laws regarding uses of cell phones while driving a motor vehicle. I would like to strongly urge this committee to consider legislation mandating drivers in Wisconsin to use hands-free devices while driving a motor vehicle. As a medical doctor in the ER and a pharmaceutical executive, I definitely wake up every morning wishing there were more hours in the day. I know the benefits that cell phones possess in our lives. However, I also know the major distractions that driving with a phone in my hands or in the hands of drivers around me possess. While many of my colleagues later today will share personal stories regarding how drivers with a phone in their hand endangered their lives, I want to start off this discussion with a number of facts demonstrating the increased hazards that driving with a cell phone possesses to both the driver and other motorists. These include the fact that nationwide, 18% of fatalities in distraction-related crashes were cell phone related. Furthermore, drivers who use handheld devices are 4 times more likely to get into crashes serious enough to injure themselves or others. Drivers talking with cell phones are also 18% slower to react to brake lights. And I would also like to point out that the number of cell phone subscribers in Wisconsin has nearly doubled from 2.5 million in 2003 to 4 million in 2008, and I'm sure that number is much larger currently. Therefore, the hazard is increasing as there are more cell phones on the roads, and as well as more cars on the roads. The Department of Motor Vehicle Handbook for the state of Wisconsin clearly states both hands should be on the steering wheel, with your right hand at 3 o'clock and your left hand at 9 o'clock. Why would we allow a constant distraction that keeps drivers away from proven safe driving practices? Car manufacturers have already realized the importance of keeping both hands on the wheel and our eyes on the roads. New technologies already exist that place radio controls on steering wheels, allow us to check our speed without taking our eyes off the road, and have voice commands for things such as changing the car temperature. The international automobile manufacturers support state legislation getting texting, which already exists, and handheld bans passed. However, there's only so much that manufacturers can do. Some of the arguments against further restrictions argue that one should not regulate common sense. However, I would like to reiterate that driving has repeatedly been shown as a privilege, not a right.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Do you have any statistics on how much safer hands-free, or are there any studies on hands-free devices versus just using a cell phone? You're kind of going there, but...
There are a number of studies that are in the process. Several states have enacted these rules, such as California and a number of other states, and studies are still being done regarding the difference between handheld versus hands-free devices. But there are several studies showing the difference between not using a device at all versus using a phone, showing that some studies show that using a phone makes a driver just as impaired as a blood alcohol level of 0.08.
Madam Chair. My question, I think we have too many laws already as it is in Wisconsin, so why do we need to pass another law banning cell phones while driving when we already have inattentive driving?